Okay, Len, connected to debriefing, connected to all of it is this notion of accountability and transparency. Okay, no one would disagree with those two statements. Everyone wants to know, yeah, why and how. How being the more important one.
Yeah. So, I mean, the how is always going to be dependent on what your industry is, what your company's like, all those types of things. But the principles are the same. And, this is obviously something we've learned in law enforcement, body cameras, all the things that have happened in the last few years, have proven the fact that, without accountability, without transparency, you lose trust. And when you lose trust, like I said before, you lose that benefit of the doubt. One of the things, when people are asking me to kind of understand that, I always say, think about a personal relationship you've had where, or maybe something with a spouse or a partner or, whatever it is. And, you wake up in the morning and almost whatever you say is misinterpreted. You say good morning and they're like, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? And so that when you lose that benefit of the doubt, it's because you've lost trust. And there's a lot of different ways you can lose trust. When we talk about the how of accountability and transparency, one of the first places that it starts with me is understanding your purpose. Okay. And making sure everybody else understands the purpose too. And, especially in business, your purpose is not just about making money. It can't just be about making money. It has to be like, why are you here? Why is your organization on this earth? What is your purpose? What impact are you trying to make for your constituents, whether they're employees or vendors or customers or whatever they are? And how do you go about doing that? And when you have a well-articulated why, which is your purpose, when you're able to articulate your why, and we talked about some bad whys, right? Some bad whys are because I said so, because we've always done it, because I can, right? Those are bad whys. But when you can truly articulate your why and what you're trying to accomplish, it provides a context for everybody that you can then start building your accountability and transparency. So you build that purpose, you make sure everybody within your organization and outside your organization understands that purpose. And then you take a public stand, your accountability as to what you're going to do as it relates to that purpose. And then you provide transparency. You let people see your progress, good or bad, right? If you only show good progress, people don't trust you. You have to also own your mistakes, right? And say, we dropped the ball here. We are not moving as quickly as we would have liked, right? There's an organization that I talk about in a book that publishes all of their salaries and with people's names on their website for anybody to see. This is what this person makes. This is counterintuitive to most organizations, right? They don't want anybody even talking about their salaries with their peers because they want to keep it all hidden. But they said, you know what, they're a technology company. We are going to fix the wage gap. We're going to figure out how do we provide equality and equity within our workforce so that men are not making more than women for the same job and all these things. Well, that's a great thing. And that's a great accountability to put out there. But then they took that extra step and provided the transparency.
Yeah.
But you know what happened? They didn't quite close that gap as quick as they wanted. And it was very obvious because you could look year after year at those wage numbers. And every year they would address it. They would say, we did not do what we wanted to do. And this is why. And this is what we're doing differently. That builds trust, right? That builds, a partnership that people can rely on. You don't always have to succeed, but you have to, make sure that people trust you.